So you want to start with a multiple of 6 plus 4, and in this case I have 22. And you're going to start with 3 double crochets into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3 double crochets in that same chain. 2, 3. Now I'm going to skip 2 chains and do a slip stitch in the 3rd. Then I'm going to skip 2 more chains and do 3 double crochets in the 3rd. And then I'm going to repeat that process to the end of the chain. I'm going to skip 2, slip stitch, skip 2, and 3 double crochets. And then I'll repeat that again. Skip 2 and slip stitch, skip 2 and 3 double crochets in that last chain. 2, 3. And then you're actually going to take your hook out of that live loop, and you're going to go all the way back here to where you started and find your first double crochet. So there's 1, 2, 3. Put your hook in the top of that first double crochet, grab the live loop and pull it through. So it's a way of making a slip stitch that doesn't leave yarn across the top of the stitches. So you can see here that that has put the top of all of your stitches on the inside. And it doesn't look much like yo-yos at this point, but we're now going to move on to the second row. And that has you start with no chains, no slip stitches. You're just going to do 12 double crochets in the same chain that you put the last 3 double crochets into. So the last 3 double crochets we did were here. That's the chain we worked them into. We're going to put 12 double crochets in that same chain. It seems like a lot, but they do all fit, I promise. There's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now you'll notice that that chain opened up quite a bit. You can go ahead and pull the tail and that'll tighten it up a little bit. Now you're going to slip stitch where the last slip stitch happened between the groups of 3 double crochets. And then you're going to do 12 double crochets into the same chain as the last group of 3. You won't have to worry about this chain opening so much since it's locked into place by the stitches on either side. That's only 8. There's 4 more to go. Sometimes you lose count, so it's okay to go back. Here's your slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you can see those yo-yos starting to take shape. So now you finish this. You're going to do a slip stitch, the same chain that the slip stitch between the groups of 3 double crochets happened. And now you'll do 12 double crochets in the same chain where the previous group of 3 happened. And you're going to repeat that process one more time to end up with 4 yo-yos. So So now I finished the 12th double crochet in that 4th yo-yo, and we're just going to slip stitch actually around where those two joined. And that is the end of the first round. Okay, so I'm ready to do round 2 of those yo-yos. And it starts out exactly the same. You have your chain, 3 double crochets in the 4th chain from the hook, skip 2, slip stitch, skip 2, 3 double crochets in the next. Then you're going to join to that first round that you made. So you're going to take your hook out of the live loop, and you're going to insert your hook into the 4th double crochet on any one of these. And so I like to start from where you did that last slip stitch, and you can count 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to insert my hook right through there. I'm going to grab the live loop and pull through, and then I'm going to do 4 more double crochets in that same chain that I did the previous 3. 3, 4. Then you're going to skip 2, do your slip stitch, skip 2, and do 3 double crochets in the next chain. Now you're going to take your hook out of the live loop, and you're going to insert your hook into the 8th double crochet on the next one. So from that slip stitch, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So your hook goes in from front to back, grab that live loop, pull it through, and then 4 more double crochets right where you did those first 3. It seems a little unwieldy at first because it's lots of pieces and you're joining to something that already exists. Just take your time. But you can see, just like when we made the first 4 yo-yos, remember that the tops of your stitches faced in that first round. See here, the tops of your stitches are facing in this row. So there, I've done the other 4 double crochets. Now I'm going to skip 2 chains and slip stitch. Then I'm going to skip 2 chains and do 3 double crochets in the next chain. And here's where it changes a little bit. I'm not going to join to the existing rounds of yo-yos right now. I'm going to skip 2 and slip stitch. Then skip 2 and do 3 more double crochets. And I'll show you now why I did that extra bit in the middle. Take your hook out of the live loop and then go back to your yo-yos. You're going to need one to bridge the corner. So you need that little one out there. So from your slip stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, go into the 4th one, grab your live loop, pull it through. Oop, sometimes you drop it, just grab it again, pull it through, and then do 4 more double crochets into that same chain. 2, 3, 4. So you can see here, you're setting yourself up to have a matching yo-yo here, and one in the corner, and then here and here. So you've got 4 yo-yos in this round. You'll end up with 12 yo-yos in the next round. You're just going to repeat these steps over. You'll join to the 8th, you'll do the little bit out on its own, join to the fourth, and continue around. So here I finished my last double crochet. You can see I've gone all the way around. And just like with the very first round, you're going to take your hook out of the live loop. You're going to find the top of the very first double crochet that you made, which for me is here. Insert your hook, grab that live loop, and pull it through. And that is the end of the third round. So to start the fourth row, don't chain, don't slip stitch. You're just going to go right from where you did that slip stitch, and you're going to put 8 double crochets in the same chain where you did all the double crochets of the last group there. So 8 double crochets right here. Remember that this chain's probably going to open up and get really loosey-goosey on you because that was the very first chain. Remember, you pull the tail and it gets a little bit tighter. Let's see, that was 4. I've got 4 more. One more. And just pull that tail to tighten up that stitch. See, look at that. And then just like in the previous round, you're then going to find that slip stitch that happened between the groups. Do another slip stitch. And then in that same chain here, you'll do 8 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at that, 2 yo-yos down. Find where that slip stitch happened. Make another slip stitch. So now you're out in that little corner group, and that only had 3. So here in that chain, we're going to put 12. So this is just like the ones we did in the center. So you put 12 double crochets into that one to make the corner yo-yo. And I do always feel like 12 stitches are not going to fit in that one little chain, but they always do. 9, 11, 12. If you were to add another round, it's important that your 4th stitch and your 8th stitch are in the right place. So if you don't have 12, that's going to be offset and it'll knock your square out of square. So make sure that you count. So you're just going to repeat this process, 8 double crochets, slip stitch, 8 double crochets, slip stitch, 12 double crochets all the way around till you're back where you started from. So here you are at the end of round 4, but it's the second round of yo-yos. Same thing that you did at the end of the first round of yo-yos. You're just going to slip stitch around between the first and the last yo-yo, and then you can break your yarn and fasten off, and you've got a round of 12 yo-yos. Nice and simple.